students. I welcome you all for today's session. And today we have among us CA Anandatirtha sir. He is a chartered accountant qualified in the year 2016. He has also pursued BCom from MGM College Udupi and secured fifth rank in Mangalore University. He works as guest faculty for various institutes like Trisha classes Udupi, MGM College Udupi, Department of Commerce Manipal, School of Management Manipal, teaching CA, CS, CMA, MBA, and BCom students for over 4 years. He is also involved in practice in Udupi under the firm name Anandatirtha G and Associates. He is pursuing CS course and currently undergoing final level. He is also involved in personality development and motivational talks. I, on behalf of Trisha classes, once again heartily welcome you to the today's session. Over to Anand sir.
Good morning. Am I audible? Is there any disturbance?
You are audible, sir.
Yes, thank you. Yes, a very good morning to everyone. How are everybody? Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. So I just want to see the crowd now. Whether everybody are CA foundation written students here, or is there any other type of crowd? Everybody are CA foundation written. Anybody who is other than that, CA foundation written, anybody who is other than that? Anybody who is other than CA foundation written? Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Okay, chalo. So first, just let me know, just tell me how did the whole exam thing go? How confident you are? How was the exams? Things went well? So I have to consider this as completely sure stuff that I will again be meeting you as an inter student, and where I will be dealing with some of the subjects to you with the inter level. isn't it? Awesome, awesome. I'm very happy the way everybody are so confident about it. I'm really very happy in that regard. Okay, so very good, very good. So considering that, first of all, a very good morning, and at the same time, uh, yeah, a very good morning, and also welcome to this bridge course where we are learning something in connection to your future, in connection to our improvement of personality in different manner. So whenever you deal with, or whenever you want to be a professional, there are two very important wings to be the professional. One, your knowledge base. Two, the way you communicate your knowledge. So communication is one word which contains so many in detail requirement, like the body language you have, the way you talk, the way you actually take up a particular task. There are so many things which is going to happen in communication. Knowledge, you know that it's an ocean, that the more knowledge you grab, the better it is at all times. So everything when it comes to a professional, to that extent it's very important, because whenever you hear the name professional, maybe a CA, maybe any other professional to that matter, everybody expect that there is expert knowledge related to a particular field. So in that case, you have the knowledge, you can't communicate, there is an issue. You can communicate, but you don't have the knowledge, again, there is an issue. Two of them have to merge together to make sure that your personality overall is going to be a better one. So considering that, the management Trisha classes have decided that they will have a bridge course for you, where every inter-level introduction to some extent, at the same time other requirements related to your overall development is covered over here, which is a very good initiative taken by the institute. Considering that, even from your angle, try to grab them up as much as possible, try to take up advantage of all these things, try to imbibe it in yourself, so that ultimately you can make out, and you can only understand how that personality can come out altogether. Okay, so everybody has been given a specific topic. Even for me also, a specific topic has been given. To some extent it's actually a technical one, so instead of going too technical for the current time being at the initial stage itself, first let's talk on the overall basis, and later let's move towards a technical aspect. So the topic what we covered, or what is given to me today, is about standardizing accounting by accounting standards. So what is the importance of accounting standards in our area? Now, in your foundation, if I am correct, only introduction to AS was given for you, where what are the different headings of accounting standards, what is the meaning of an accounting standard, blah, blah, blah stuff. Now, be very honest. Once you hear about the accounting standard, once you find out that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, karke, there are around 28, 30 standards mentioned in a situation, how many of you will tell that by this, or surely accounting standard, the title means this one? How many of you can tell me that I am damn sure about each heading of the standard and what is accounting standard going to convey? Be honest in that. If you don't know it, you don't know. If you know, you know. It's totally fine. I can switch languages over here, or you want me to stick to English? And now another time, be very honest. How many of you actually left this while studying? Majority of times we leave that, correct? Okay. Okay, fine. So if I simply ask you, what is the reason why you left? I think one reason at all times what is going to come is, one, we feel that it's a bit advanced and therefore I can't follow what the wordings is said in the material. That is number one. Second, I cannot imagine where I can use it. True. ಒಂದು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ it feels difficult for me to understand, I don't know what to do. Second, I don't know where to apply it. At least if I know how can I apply, I will try my level best. Or else ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಓದಿದಾಗ I should understand what it is all about. In that case I will study, I can make it up, I can work out very well. But both of them are tough when it comes to accounting standard in our level. Therefore we normally leave it. Trust me, even I did the same. Okay, when I was studying for my CPT, you had foundation, you had descriptive, I had multiple choice, but still even I also left. I also only by hearted number, standard, title, that's it. Okay, and maybe you also would do the same stuff. So now once you reach a next level, which I'm damn sure that everybody are going to clear and come to the next level. Once you come to the next level, you are in the inter level. Once you finish the inter level, you are in the finals level. Once you finish the finals level, you are a chartered accountant. Once you are a chartered accountant, your entire job related to accounting revolves around this topic only, every time. So that is the reason why in foundation itself they gave you a hint saying that there are or there is a topic called as accounting standard. In inter they started discussing some of the accounting standard. In finals they target every accounting standard, and once you become a CA, you will be now well equipped and you will use the standard to do a particular job. Now, I think this is one sentence which might have heard from everyone, especially from the accounts faculty, that accounting standard we use in our day-to-day life. Yes, everybody say that, correct? So now can you just imagine, could you imagine how can we use it? Can anybody go with that mindset? Can anybody think that how have we actually used it? Or you have only heard this sentence saying that accounting standard ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. We normally don't tend towards the practical accounting, and I'm telling you, even in inter level also our practical accounting is a lesser element. ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಥಿಯರಿಟಿಕಲಿನೇ ಕಲಿಯುವುದು. You come to articleship, you will understand the practical impact of accounting. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ವಿಷಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, what could be done, everything will be known. Okay, now it's like a constitution for CA. Yes, very, very important one. I totally agree with what you are saying. Okay, law and standards are like our book Bible, which we have to study. Okay, so law, because it tells what to be done, what not to be done, how companies should be formed, how companies should be closed, how companies should be taken on day-to-day basis. Everything is said by the company law, so I should know about it. Second, if at all I'm bringing that towards accounting, then I should know what company law tells about accounting, what standards tell about accounting. Then later you have to bring it up over there. Okay, now just for imagination purpose, okay, everybody now should be with me, and if you are not following, please tell me that you are not following. It's totally fine, no problem at all. We are here something new to learn, so let's have that kind of mindset today. So I will try to tell you some example. Let's try to imagine how the whole thing will work. Okay, now I'm just telling ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, let's assume that we are sitting in accountant ka chair of a particular company. ಕಂಪನಿದು ಆರ್ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ. ಕಂಪನಿ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಯ್ತು, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಎ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಫರ್ಮ್. ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಇದು ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಅನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾ ಚೇರ್. ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಆರ್ ರೆಡಿ? ನೋಬಡಿ is sleeping, I feel. ಮಲಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಸಹ? Come on, there are 70 people and I'm getting only 4-5 people. Ready? Okay. Just quickly start telling me. Everybody's hand should be on the chat wing. Okay, everybody's hand should be on the chat wing, and I'll keep on asking questions. Start up. Okay, I'll keep on asking questions. Everybody start typing there. If I ask you what is 1 plus 1, don't use calculators. None of them are supposed to use calculators, and I want quick answers. If all the 70 tells, it's awesome. 1 plus 1. And I hope everybody know it. Nobody's using calculator, Allah? Very good. Okay, quick. 2 plus 2. Super. 4 plus 4. 8 plus 8. Somebody also wrote 16 because they know that I'm going to ask the same thing. Okay, very good. 16 plus 16. Carry on. 32 plus 32. Yes, 64 plus 64. 128 plus 128. None of them are supposed to use calculator now. I want only Shist answers. None of them are supposed to use calculators. Then 256 plus 256. 256 plus 256. Awesome. 512 plus 512. 1024 plus 1024. 2048 plus 2048. 4096 plus 4096. 8192 plus 8192. 16384 plus 16384. Iga slow aaytu. Yes, correct. It is 32768. It is 32768. Anybody, and I hope nobody is using calculator. And I hope nobody is using calculator. 32768 plus 32768. It is 65,536. Very good. 65,536. 65,536. Square root of 65,536. Square root of 65,536. Very good. People are very good in maths here. I'm very happy. 256 is the answer. Awesome. Great. Stop then. So I think by now everybody might have woken up. This is just an exercise just to wake you up, because normally numbers are something which will always make you awake. So you start using your brain when the numbers are involved. When the words are involved, normally you don't use your brain. You just use it and finish it off. But if numbers are involved, normally you use your brain. Okay. With that positive note, now let's start understanding and imagining why these kind of standards are involved in a situation. Why normally a chartered accountant tells that accounting standards are the necessary element in a particular field, etc., etc. Let's see. Every topic will have standards. Either, for example, in accounting, we have got accounting standards. In auditing, which is another wing subject of CA, we have something called as auditing standards also. But I'm just telling you that every area where a work is involved, there will be standards which will be mentioned. For example, if I'm a CS student, company secretary, for them, they have got secretarial standards. Okay, so costing based standards are also there, which will be used by a cost accountant. Every area will have a standard. Income tax anta ondu topic untu. Over there is something called as income computation and disclosure standards. So every area, every element, there will bring a certain standard. Why do they do it? We will see one by one. Nodta hogwa why it is necessary, what is the usage, ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ತರ ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಇವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. All these things we will see in the next 1.5 hours. We will try to understand what is the entire objective of that. Okay, now Let's start imagination, which I spoke about 5 minutes ago. Let's start imagining. You are sitting in an accountant chair in the accountant cabin of a partnership firm, which means your boss are the partners. So partners will give you details and your job is to bring it in the books of accounts. Now, first of all, why books of accounts is needed? Why books of accounts is needed? Mainly because of two reasons. One, our memory is very weak. Two, something should be brought in writing. Simple. Ega, whenever I used to learn untala, I will tell you how I learned accounting. Where from learning to accounting till teaching to accounting, what is my evolving element. I always used to have this question. Why do we need books of accounts? Yake beku? Now, for example, if I'm a salaried person, do I need books of accounts? ಬೇಡ ಅಲ್ಲ. 12 ತಿಂಗಳ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ನಂಗೆ ನೆನಪಿರುವುದಿಲ್ವಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ನಂಗೆ ನೆನಪಿರದೇ ಇದ್ರು ಮೈ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯರ್ ವಿಲ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪೇಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇರದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಮೈ 12 month salary because it's only 12 month. If at all they give me salary every day, now I need to do something. If I'm telling you something to note down, now I asked you this plus this, you could do it directly through your brain and tell me. But if at all I give you 10 number addition, a number nenapidkodlikke at least you will write it somewhere. Why do we do it? Because we can't keep it in memory. Ultimately we need a record. Adu ondu. Yaradnedu, people don't trust memory. It's very simple. If I tell you 1 crore 22 lakh 33,144 plus 1 crore 50 lakh 70,792, ಈ ತರ ನಾನು ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಐ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವೈ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯೋರ್ ಓನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಇದೆರಡರ ಎಡಿಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್. ಐ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ನೌ. ಮೆಮರಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಸಮಟೈಮ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಾಯ್ತು, ಲಾ ಕೂಡ ಬಂತು, ಮೆಮರಿ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಲೆಡ್ ಟು ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ whereby ಇಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್. ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, where you can just think about it, people. Have you gone to a recharge shop anytime, or everybody uses only these Paytm and all? Recharge shop ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ? ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ? Very good. Have you seen their records? From now on, keep on the habit of observing things. Have you seen their record? If you have gone for a phone recharge shop, have you seen their record? What do? They have one rule book. In that they have drawn columns. They will write the serial number, they will write the phone number, they will write the amount, they will write whether recharge is done or not. Agidre tick hoditare, illadidre blank bidtare. If at all it is tick, they will think that the recharge is over. Blank idre, then by the end of the day they do all the recharge, they close the book. Do you actually find double entry system over there? Enta untadralli? It is just writing alla. There is no double entry system. They don't say that cash account debit to recharge account. Nothing. They just write it. That's it. It is their record. That's enough for them. So you might have also gone, or maybe your parents will do grocery shopping. In grocery shopping, in few of the shops, they will have credit base, because you buy the entire monthly things or monthly groceries from a particular shop. Credit base al kottirtare. Have you checked their credit record? What do they do? Rule book again, write your name, athwa nimma name ide ಒಂದು heading irtade. Below that they keep on writing what date, how much is the bill, and finally the total you pay. They cut the balance, they make it either zero or some balance remaining. Don't they do that? For every sale, do they pass a journal entry? No. It is their system of record maintaining. But can this be done by a company, people? No, it cannot. Yake, the scale is different. See, if at all it's a good angdi and all, it's totally fine. It's a very small place. It's a very small scale based organization. No problem at all. The organization kuda, it's just a shop. But munde barta once evolution of sales, evolution of business takes place, even record maintaining evolution will also happen. That is double entry system. You are in a firm having a turnover of 3 crore rupees. Alli ನೀವು ಬರೀ ರೂಲ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ who cares? No, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕು, because the scale is high. ಗೂಡಂಗಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅವರ 30-40,000 ಆದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಷಯ. ಫಾರ್ ದೆಮ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನೀನ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ದೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಹೈರ್ ಅನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. But when people can hire, when the scale has improved, increased, they need accounting records. Understood? There arose your double entry system, there arose your journal, there arose your ledger. Through that goes to trial balance, through that financial statements comes out. Okay, now this you already know. Why journal came into the picture, you know. Why ledger came into the picture, you know. Why trial balance came into the picture, you know. Why financial statement came into the picture, you know. So all these things we almost know it. But what is the important element when it comes to accounting? The final element, what they tell, called as financial statement. Everybody will go through that for sure, and that is the most important thing. Why? Because it summarizes the whole stuff. ಈಗ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳುವಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವಾಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಯು ರೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. Exam bardaga, I'm not going to ask you what chapters you read in each of the subject. I'll ask only one thing. When the results come out, have you cleared? Have you not cleared? Idu solpa jana keluvantadu. If you say have cleared, then the next step comes out. If at all somebody wants to have more information about you, they will ask what marks you got. That's it. That's it. I'm not going to ask you have you studied. I'm not going to ask you have you read for 8 hours a day. I'm not going to ask you anything. Why? The result is enough for me. Ade summary, ade financial statement. I'm not going to ask you how much sales you did. I'm not going to ask you whether expenses reduced or not. Nothing. I will only keep the financial statement. I will ask whether you produced good result or not. You say yes or no. If you say, and afterwards I want to still know what is going to happen, I will only check the financial statement and I will make up my decision. Nan puna business alli en aagta untu nodudilla. For me this is enough. Every person will do only this one. It might be internal people, it might be external people. Until and unless you are the management, you will never ever think of anything else. Okay, fraud alliyu kuda in this way only people tend to check. People sometimes they check, people sometimes they don't check. Okay, shall I give you a simple example of a fraud which took place? Everybody likes to have a fraud, likes to know how a fraud takes place, Allah. So I'll give you a very simple example of how fraud takes place. Yes, Satyam scandal is very very famous one which everybody knows. I'll tell you one more scandal which took place. Okay, in China, this took place in China. So have you heard about Cafe Coffee Day? Obviously you might have even gone also. ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲಿಸನಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆ ಥರ ಯಾರಾದರೂ? ಹಾ, ಕೆಫೆ ಕಾಫಿ ಡೇ ಬಿಡಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. Similar retail store is there in China. Okay, similar retail store is there in China. So the reason I asked about CCD is because CCD hege coffee retail outlets untu. It's basically a retail outlet where coffees are sold. In the same way, in China also there is similar mechanism over there as well. ಎಂತಾಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, over a period of time, people tend to stop drinking. People, their sales got stagnant. It was not showing improvement at all. And you can also understand, until and unless you drive the market in such a way, after a certain period of time, things starts getting stagnant. ಈಗ ಪೆನ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ 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 ಹೋದ್ರೆ, until and unless student ka rates improve, ಪೆನ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನ ನಾನು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತೇನಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ನೆಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ದೇರ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ನೆಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. They have to meet shareholder expectation. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, they started making fake sales ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರು. In the sense, literal sales ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಅ ಕಾಫಿ ಔಟ್ಲೆಟ್, ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ CCD ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಂತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಎದುರು ಭೂತ ಉಂಟು. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟೈಪಿಂಗ್ 150 ರೂಪಿ ಬಿಲ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. 250 ರೂಪಿ ಬಿಲ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. 1000 ರೂಪಿ ಬಿಲ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಎದುರು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಠೇಂಗಾ. Nobody is there over there. None of them are sitting over there, but still I'm just creating fake invoices. ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ? Reason, the more sales you show, the more profits comes out. The more profit comes out, the more improvement is shown. The more improvement is shown, stock market ali nanna company shares are properly dealt with. This is the ultimate mentality. This, they did it for n number of years. Finally, what happened was, they caught in between. Nobody caught this. Everybody felt that this is possible, this is going to happen. Ultimately, they got caught. Why? Their greed increased, and they started increasing each and every product ka sales, where people started getting some sort of problem, thinking that how can improvement like this can happen altogether. But still, ultimately, they got caught and the company fell down like anything. Now try to understand, people, illiye barudu ಏನು disadvantages of accounting. You can do whatever you want when it comes to accounting, because it's just numbers. Now, it's not like two chemicals where I mix the two chemicals, there can be blast. Sulfuric acid ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ನೋ, it's just numbers. And whenever numbers are there, people can tend to change it. At that time, it's very, very important to make sure that people are not going to something else. So for that reason, what happens? Everybody will have their own mindset. Now, when it comes to accounting, I'll give you a very simple example. You have to tell me, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Assume that there is sales. This you have already done in your foundation life. So I want your answer for this. Sales on credit to Mr. A, 50,000. Sales returns from Mr. A, 20,000. Now, for these two entries, can I get journal entries? For these two transactions, can I get journal entry? Perfect. So for the first one, the journal entry will be Mr. A account debit to sales account. For the second one, entry sales returns account debit to Mr. A. Sariya idaredu? Is this correct? Everybody can see the screen, right? Okay, awesome. Okay, now okay, this is correct, Allah. Very good. Now I'll just make a very small modification. Tell me whether I am wrong. I will say Mr. A to sales. This I'm not going to change. I'll keep it as Mr. A to sales. Can I write it as sales to Mr. A? Can I write it as sales to Mr. A? Anybody who says no? Only one said no till now. Others. And again, I'm just asking everyone to please participate, so that even you will be a part of the discussion. And the more you post, the better it is for me. Even I'll get confidence that people are there with me. We can't do it. We can't do it. Okay. So anybody who can actually give me some sort of equilibrium now, tell me something about this. If it is no, then why no? If you say that this is not proper, this is not correct, anything of that sort, can you just tell me where did I go wrong? Why should I create a account called as sales returns account? Why can't I write it as sales account debit to Mr. A? Sales is income and it can't have credit balance. It will have credit balance, but you mean to say sales cannot be debited, isn't it? Sales is an income, income will have credit balance, and whenever there is an income, income cannot be debited. That's your point. What about others? Anyone? To disclose the fact that goods are returned. Okay, they are separate independent account. Okay. Chalo, now understand this. Try to understand this. Mathematically, am I correct? Leave the accounting mechanism. Mathematically, am I correct? Mathematically, I am correct. There is no change at all. Very good. Now, but still, why do we consider sales returns and why not sales? Why do we consider sales returns but why not sales? Because of one reason, that whenever there is income which has taken place, adjustment to income is never possible. Whenever there is income or expense which are recognized, adjustment to such income or expense, we don't allow it. We ask them to do it separately. Just to try to understand this one. Okay, I'm trying to tell you a different mechanism. Okay, just try to understand this one. You go to a shop, you purchase a particular commodity. Assume that you purchase wafers purchase ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. You went to the billing center. Billing time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುವ ಹೊತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ you found out that in that particular wafer packet there is a hole or there is a huge cut. It's a defective piece. Now, this you came to know at the time of billing itself. Will you buy it? No, you ask for a replacement of it. I'll come to that question. Okay, I'll come to that question. If I don't address it, please repeat the question later. But I'll just finish off with this discussion. You will return this packet and you want to ask a different one in that place. Okay. My question to you, can I consider this as sales returns? Can I consider this as sales returns? I can't, right? I can't consider this as sales returns. Could you tell me why? Sale did not take place. Awesome. Hagadre. Now understand the situation. If at all there is a return of the product at the time of sale itself, it cannot be considered as sales return. Instead, sale itself will be the net amount, isn't it? 50,000. Say there is no extra product at all. A wafers extra illa ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೇಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗಲೇ ಅವರು ನೆಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿಯಾ? ಟೋಟಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ 250, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 10 ರೂಪಿ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಉಂಟಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ದೇ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಬಿಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫಾರ್ 240 rupees. They will not write 250 minus 10. They will directly put it as 240 rupee invoice. True? Or they will do the second one. No, right? Everybody are there with me. Everybody are there with me. Okay, true. Now in that regard, hagadre what happened now? The point to be understood is sales returns concept barudi yavaga only when the sale is over, later the product is getting returned from the debtor. ಯಾಕೆ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? The reason being, at that particular point of time, sale revenue is already recognized. If a particular income or expense is recognized and later there is a reversal, you always create a new account, but you never close that account or you never reverse that account. Now, mathematically, anything could be done, but principally, it cannot be done. Yake ee ತರ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಿ? Now, you being a person knowing account will pass an entry as sales returns account debit to Mr. A. I don't know what is accounts. I will pass the entry as sales to Mr. A. Both of them will give you the same final net effect, but still sales is wrong, sales returns is correct. Who said that? This is the acceptance which we make, generally accepted accounting principles. Initial level of foundation, you learn about these things as theory. Money measurement concept, accrual concept, cost concept. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ generally accepted accounting principles. Why do you need it? Because everybody has to maintain certain uniformity in the way they do the accounting, because accounting can be done in different way. Accounting can be done in n number of ways, because it's just debit and credit at the end of the day. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋದು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅದೇ ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅದೇ ಆಯ್ತು. ದ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಸ್ ಡನ್. ಐ ನೀಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈವನ್ ವೇಟ್ ಲೇಟರ್. ಬಟ್ even though that is the case, everybody then agreed that let's follow this. That is generally accepted accounting principles. Even in your life also, you try to follow the same. If at all you have a door, you have a window, everything, you try to maintain the same pattern. I'm not telling that your window and your neighbor's window has to remain the same, but everybody will have some sort of knob so that the door can be opened. Everybody will have a lock to close the door whenever you are not there in the place. Why do you do all these things? Because to maintain safety, and also everybody goes with the same mindset, as in uniformity. Accounting also needs this. You need uniformity in the way you do the accounting. That is generally accepted accounting principles. So every accounting professional joined together and they said, let's follow something like this, so that everybody will try to follow similar requirement. Okay, hagadre, when the generally accepted accounting principle is created by law, no, it is just an understanding what we are following. Okay, none of the law tells that, but it's just an understanding what everybody has altogether. Adan now accepted principles anta kariteve. So if any place where you find that somebody is following a basis, we try to follow it, provided we say it is correct. Can't we write sales return debit and sales credit? Correct. Sales returns debit, sales credit cannot be written. If I write it as sales returns account debit to sales, at that time sales increase aitu, credit all income ala. So sales, if it is credited, basically you are increasing the sales. No, that's not happening, right? Sales returns in the honestly, sales has to reduce. And the point is very simple. Mr. A will tell that I am not going to pay for this one, so his amount should also reduce, correct? Adakoskara we write it as to Mr. A. Sales returns account debit to Mr. A. Mr. A credit, what is the reason? Because at that time Mr. A will not pay amount to that extent. Mr. A will not pay the amount to that extent. Okay, now everybody, before you come to the inter level, all right, so even though you are still at this stage, I'm telling you now itself, before you come to the inter level, everybody remembers that accounting rules, people, personal, real, nominal. You also remember there is another approach called as modern approach or American approach, where there are 5 accounting system. You need to make sure that you remember it throughout your life. It's not restricted to foundation. It is something which should be there in your life. Always remember that. You are not supposed to forget it in any way. Very good. Assets, liability, income, expense, capital, or revenue, expense, capital. Anything is fine. But you have to remember it. And not just remembering in melee. Even in inter level, we will try to grab the same stuff. Try to imbibe yourself with the method. In the sense, automatically taliyal holibeku. Why it is sales returns account debit to Mr. A? It should be there in your mind then and there itself. Mr. A credit yake, asset reduced credit. Ade heludalla asset ka debit credit rule. What does it tell? Asset debit increase, asset credit decrease. Yes, no? Is that the rule? Asset debit rule is debit increase, credit decrease, isn't it? Exactly. So why Mr. A got credited? Because he will not pay the money. If he is not paying the money, his asset has to reduce credit. So if you get this thing right, at that time you can pass any journal entry. If you ask me, I am a chartered accountant now. I have my office. I do auditing. I will find that there are some elements which I should know. At that time, I will only go through this and I will pass a journal entry based on that. Even after being CA, we will go with the same mindset. The only thing is the difference between you and a chartered accountant will be chartered accountant can process these rules quickly. You may take some time to process that. If you come out of that process time and you finish it off quickly, you know how to pass an entry for sure. Okay. Can I say that one of the very annoying topic when it comes to your foundation accounting was, I'm not saying that for you people it might be, but I'm just telling for most of them that's going to happen like that only. Unfortunately, one of the most annoying topic for a foundation student is that rectification of error. Or one of the topic which you love the most, I don't know. Maybe few people love that topic a lot, but how do you feel? Loved it from class or loved it from exam? Class wise, everybody love it. Exam wise, it's normally I say rectification of error is like social studies history. You like to read history, but it should not be asked in exam. ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ history ಓದ್ತೆ. Correct? This attempt, it was easy then. That's why everybody are liking it a lot. Okay, awesome. Now, the point is very simple. The reason I say that is the job of a chartered accountant is to rectify error. There are two jobs a chartered accountant can do. If at all I'm into practice and all, where my job is to audit the books of accounts, at that time my job is to check. If I'm checking, I'm sure search for an error. If there is an error, I should rectify it, or I should ask my client to rectify it. If you are in the accounting area, then at that time you pass the entry. So most of the time for a chartered accountant, the job is to rectify. To rectify, your accounting base has to be very strong. Debit credit has to be very strong. At that time, no matter what they ask, you know how to rectify. Mathematically, how to rectify it. Later, slowly you will realize, this account, and that time you can get a beautiful answer out of it. Okay. So every time, please stick with the basics, no matter what, no matter how huge you go, how long you go, but still stick with the basics, because that is very important when it comes to professional courses, because they always target your basics. Even in CA finals, they target basics. So they just want to know, are you good with the basics or not, all the time. All right. So coming back to the point. So generally accepted accounting principles came into the picture in this way. If you ask me, sir, why is those concepts available now? Because they are bringing a uniformity everywhere. If they are saying separate legal entity concept, at that time, everybody in the accounting is following it. There is a uniformity. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಬಂದಾಗೆ ಬರೀತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ನೋಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ, at that time there is a front side, there is a back side, alwa? Now, who asked you to write or who asked you to start your book from the front side only? You can start from back side also. But what will you tell me? You will tell that ಈಗ ನನ್ನದೇ ರಫ್ ಬುಕ್ ಆದ್ರೆ I can write in any way I want. Who cares? But if I am supposed to submit this book anywhere, ಈಗ ಕಾಪಿ ಬುಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಕಾಪಿ ಬುಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಟೀಚರ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. Why didn't you start your first page from the back side? Why did you start from the front side? Because it's a generally accepted principle that everybody should start from the front end so that teacher can easily correct the book. ಹಿಂದಿಂದ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ತಪ್ಪುಂಟಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರೆಯುವುದೇ ವಿಷಯ ಅದೇ 4 ಲೈನ್, ಅದೇ 3 ಲೈನ್, but still you do that. Why? Because we follow a practice. So ಅದೇ practices is done in accounting also. Accounting ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ರಫ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯುವುದಾದ್ರೆ without showing it to anybody, you can write in any way you want. Adre, if at all you are going to submit this book, in the sense, if this is reflected in the financial statement, which is obvious, and if this financial statement is shown to someone, at that time the problem arises. Ega, when you do financial statement from the problem angle as a student, at that time, even if the answer is wrong, you still submit it. Yake, because it's not going to apply to anyone. Only thing is you will lose marks. But ide mistake nan balance sheet tally madade shareholder kotre, will you agree at that time? Illa adu nange tally aglilla, miss aitu, so take it anta heli asset side alli 4 crore, liability side alli 3 crore ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. At that time, will they agree? Will the shareholders agree? No, because it is giving it to a third party where money is involved. So at that time, it's not going to happen that way. So adakoskara, you need principles to follow it up. Understood? So why are those concepts came into the picture? Because of this reason. So ella concepts yak bekagit namge. Why should I bang my head to remember them? How can I actually understand them? There are few concepts like substance over form, materiality, that, this and all, which is hard to even remember also. Why are these happening? Because of this reason. So which is very important as an accounting person, which you will get it over a period of time. Munde munde barta barta, you will only understand these are the principles I have to follow. Okay. But later, even when it comes to generally accepted accounting principles also, it will only tell our normal involvement in the accounting. Adre, it won't tell me or a rule or a regulation to follow. It never gives us what rules and regulations we need to follow. For that, an element came in called as accounting standards. So accounting standards andre yenappa? Accounting standards andre rules in accounting to follow. Yak bekit nange rules? Why do we need rules and all? We could have directly done accounting. We already have generally accepted principles. Then why do you need rules? Reason being, if there are no rules, people tend to go against it, and there might be an effect of a fraud or an error or any issue to that matter. See, I will tell you the areas in which the problem arises. Number one, idanella ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ technical words adu, but try to understand it. The last one is disclosure. Last but one is presentation, measurement, recognition. The areas in accounting which creates problems are these four. Nodidira ee words elliyadru munche? Areas in which you will find it difficult is these four. Honestly saying, you ask any CA, we will say these are the problems we have. Recognition, should I bring it in the books of accounts or not? Measurement, at what price should I bring it? Presentation, how will I write it in the books? Disclosure, what will I tell people about it? I will give you one example which you have done in your day-to-day life. Okay, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೇನೆ, and I am telling you why accounting standard is important. Okay, assume that you want to buy. Okay, ಏನ್ buy ಮಾಡುವ? Shall we buy PS5? That is the latest one, right? Or you are very papa people, you don't know about this at all? Correct, Sony. PS5 ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, PlayStation. Nobody are into gaming over here, is it? I love gaming. Okay, few people might have had PS, not into gaming. Okay, no, chalega, it's okay. Few people like it, few people don't like it, but let's go with this. Okay, let's assume that there is a PS5 requirement. Yes, it's too costly, that's why I brought it up. Okay, let's assume that I think the price of PS5 is around 50 to 60k, if I'm correct. 60,000 hatra untirbeku. It is priced somewhere between 50 to 87,000. Okay, great, sorry. Even I'm bad in this then. Just a minute. Okay. Just give me a quick 2 minutes. I will just plug in the charger. Just give me a quick 2 minutes. Hello, I'm back. Audible? Yes, everybody are awake, right? Yes, awesome. Now, so the thing what I was talking earlier was I'll give you an example of PS5, and one student told me that it is 87,000. Okay, I'll go with that. 87,000. This is the market price. Okay. Now, the point to be understood now is what is the requirement? Why this actually came up? What is the reason why these standards are important? Now, let's assume that I have gone to my friend's shop. Let's assume that my friend is also involved in selling of these electronic equipments, gaming equipments, and all. Because my friend is involved in this, okay, I went to him and I said, I want to buy it, blah, blah, blah stuff. Say he's my very close friend. Very close friend, they will charge more. Beda. He's my normal friend. That guy sold this PS to me at 50,000 rupees. Okay, let's assume that this PS is going to be fit in my company where even my employees can also play. So it's a fixed asset to us because it is used in the company. If I use it at home, you will tell me, sir, personal things won't come in business. So business idre matra ad asset illadidre illa, blah, blah, blah stuff will arise. But I will tell you that this will be fit in my gaming room of the company where even employees can play. So for their recreational stuff, this has been used. I got this at 50,000 rupees. Okay, a doubt comes in. Should I write PS in the books or not? See, the point is very simple. Will you use this for the purpose of business? No, this is used as recreation stuff for the business. Idrinda production agudilla, yantadu agudilla. It is just there in the company for recreational purpose. Should I write it in the books of accounts or not? Now, if I ask you people, what will you say? It is not going to be used for production. Production antu guarantee agudilla idrinda. Hauda? Yes. ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದ? ಎಂತದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. It's used for recreational stuff of employees. Should I recognize this as fixed asset or not? What do you say? Are you able to understand how practical accounting works? These things are practical accounting. These are the doubts which people will have. They will come to you as a asking as a chartered accountant. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Etc. Etc. Okay, give me answers now, quick. Everybody understood the question, Allah? So I have purchased PS5. PS5 will be fit in my office building and employees can use this for recreational purpose. First question, should I write this in the books of accounts or not? Or should I don't bring it in the books at all? Okay, here only there are people who gave yes as answer. Here only there are people who gave no as answer. And I accept both. I will not ask you why and all right now, Adan matte nodwa, but I'm just telling you that everybody or few people, 60% are saying yes, 40% are saying no. Few people, are there anyone who say that I don't know? It's hard to decide. Is there anyone who are going to say that? It's hard to decide. Or it's not possible to decide. Hard andre nama ego hurt agate. It's not possible to decide. Anybody with that ideology? The transaction in such a way that it's hard for me to decide, or it's not possible for me to decide, or it depends. That's the best answer. Is there anyone who say that it depends? Okay, let's see. Let's see. I'm getting mixed answer over here. Fine. Once this is done, let's see what will happen. I will tell you the answer, so don't worry on that. But I'll go to the next level. 87,000 is the market value of PlayStation. This is the price at which I have purchased. Price at which I have purchased this 50,000. At what value should I bring it in the books? If I'm bringing it in the books, at what value should I bring it? Is it 87,000? Is it 50,000? Is it 37,000? Is it 1,37,000? At what value should I bring it? So one person said recognize at 50,000 and show discount as 37,000. Few people are saying only 50,000. Okay, the second one. Third, presentation. How should I bring this in the financial statements? Financial statements alli yelli barili. You will tell me, write it under fixed asset. Great. Fixed asset alli yelli barili. Should I write it as electronic equipment? Should I write it as electrical equipment? Should I write it as drawings? Very good. Should I write it as asset? Should I write it as drawings? What should I do? Presentation. Finally, about disclosure. See, if this is an asset, people, if this is an asset, depreciation will apply. If it's an asset, depreciation will apply. At what rate? What did you deduct? Is there any impairment on the asset? There are so many things which are going to happen which needs disclosure. What do you mean by the word disclosure? Giving information to user. Giving information to user is called as disclosure. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಕೊಂಡು ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. These are the problems which got created because of one example, which means try to understand now. Illi irodu 60 participants. In these 60 participants, only 10 to 15 are responding. 10 to 15 people themselves has got different answers to give. Few of them say go with one route, few of them say go with the other route. Both of them might be correct, both of them might be logical, everything I agree. But ultimately, what should the country do? Because the country has so many businesses, so many accountants, so many CAs, so many issues. What should the country do? You need a standard method practice followed by each and every one in the country, saying that it recognize madbeka madbarda, saying that yestake barili, saying that what will they it how will it be shown in the financial statement, saying that how it will be disclosed and told to the shareholder. All these things somebody has to come and tell. Somebody should give a rule. That is accounting standard. If you ask me why accounting standard came in, this is the best example I can tell you. Now what I will do is, idu problem untalla nange, ee problem irudrinda nanu ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, I'll give you the answer now. Okay, everybody gave me their answers. I will now give you the answer. Now what I will do is, there is a standard called as AS10. Nenpunta? I'm not asking what is there inside the standard. Have you at least gone through the heading of that? There is a standard called as AS10. Very good. The heading of that standard is, one person gave it. Correct. The heading of the standard is property, plant and equipment. The heading of the standard is property, plant and equipment. In that standard, I will go and check. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತದಂದ್ರೆ, if at all there is any tangible asset which can be used for more than 1 year, then it will be covered under AS10. First, whether PS is a tangible asset, yes. Whether PS will have more than 1 year as life, yes. ಎರಡು ವಿಷಯ ಹೌದು, it can be used for more than 1 year. Let's assume that everybody using people are proper ones, ಯಾರು ಹೊಡೆದು ಹಾಕುದಿಲ್ಲ, everybody will use it properly, so therefore it can be used for more than 1 year. Done. ಈಗ ಓದ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ. What does it tell? It tells that if at all you use an asset for production purpose, or you use the asset for administration purpose, or you use the asset for giving it as rent, it can be considered as fixed asset anta helidru. Punansala yen helidru? If you use it for production, it is fixed asset. If you use for administration, it can be fixed asset. If you use it for giving it on a rent to someone, it can be assumed as fixed asset. Iga PS usage in PS idu, employees ka stress will be reduced. Employees ka stress reduction, can I consider it as administration? Yes. Yes or no? Employee stress has to reduce, right? In my company, if I'm giving them proper way of living, then employees will be very happy to come to my company. They will stay with my company. They work well. You can see the result. It will lead to production. Production might be improved, etc. stuff. Which means employee recreation is one of the administration job of a company. They are giving it as recreation, which means it can be recognized as fixed asset. Who said this? AS10 said it. Second, at what price I should measure? Again, AS10 tells that measure it at cost incurred. What is the cost incurred? 50,000. 50,000 is the cost incurred. Recognize or measure this asset according to 50,000. How should I present it? Since it is an asset which can be recognized, I will show this under fixed assets and not drawings. I will show this under fixed asset. How will you disclose it? I will apply 40% depreciation on this. I will tell the rules as to why, or I will tell the reason as to why I have applied 40%, and accordingly I will tell my shareholder as to what I have done with this particular asset. ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಡೌಟ್ ಈಗ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ AS10 is there in the picture. This is the role what AS10 provides. This is the role what accounting standard provides. It tells what can be done, what cannot be done. As simple as that. Okay. Now it tells that whenever there is fixed asset, you have to depreciate. ಯಾಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿಯೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಗೆ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ everybody now can follow it on a standard basis. A standardized methodology can be followed. Now, did you understand the title? Standardizing accounting with accounting standards. So everything you create according to standard requirement. That is the reason what we do. If you ask me as a CA, what should I do? I will go through accounting standard first. Then I will check whether my client has properly done this or not, so that I can tell whether it is correct or whether it is wrong. ಯಾಕೆ ಈಗ ನನ್ನದೇ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಆದ್ರೆ, if it's self decision, I can do anything I want, right? It can be correct, it can be wrong. ನನ್ಗೆ ಸರಿ ಕಾಣೋದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸರಿ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸರಿ ಕಾಣದಿರೋದು ನನ್ಗೆ ಸರಿ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ, which is common. Every human being has their own mindset. but you need one mindset to tell standardize it. Then only you can continue. Otherwise, it's not possible. Okay, so this is how the mindset of accounting standard comes into the picture. That is the reason why accounting standard came into the picture. Okay, and as I've said, accounting standard mainly covers these four areas. It tells how to recognize, how to measure, how to present, how to disclose. All these things, sometimes they say, sometimes three of them, two of them, one of them, whatever it is, it should be said. So this is the reason of accounting standard being into the picture. And accordingly, if at all, ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಾವು accounting standard ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುವ. How many accounting standard do we have, people? How many accounting standards do we have? Can anybody tell me this? In numbers, I agree that there are a total of 32 accounting standards. There are a total of 32 accounting standards. Okay, how many accounting standards are actually in motion now? How many accounting standards are actually in usage? How many accounting standards are effective? How many accounting standards are effective? Okay, now accounting standards ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ institute goes and checks. Okay, first of all, who issues the accounting standard? ICI. With government approval, ICI is the body which is going to issue the accounting standards. Okay, and accordingly it will first check the area in which a standard is needed, and then they do it. If at all there is no standard, we normally follow generally accepted principles. I'll give you an example. Okay, the same example what I gave you before. In the previous example, PS was recognized at what value? Previous example, PS was recognized at what value? 50,000. Which concept did you apply over there? Which concept did you apply over there? You applied cost concept. Perfect. You applied cost concept over there. Awesome. Awesome. Assume that there is buffalo. I will use this for agriculture. There is buffalo. I use it for agriculture. How to value this? You want me to tell the age? Based on its work, you will value. What type of, okay, tell me what kind of information you need. I'll tell you. What kind of information I will give you. Nimma client nan. Ask me, I will give you. If you need any information, I will give you the information. I'll give you one more example. There are employees in my company. How to treat it? In my company, there are employees. How to treat it? Can I show employees as asset? No. Why not? See, employees are one of the major assets of the company. Employees are the people who drives it. Entire company can be driven through employees only. Human resource cannot be shown in the books of accounts. They cannot be measured. Okay, awesome. In both these situations, what happened? None of them are telling you that this is because of these rules. There are no accounting standard for this. Accounting standard illa. So AS did not specify about how to treat human resource. AS did not talk about how to treat livestock. This is called as livestock. ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಸೊ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಲೈಫ್. Okay, now these things there is no accounting standard as such. ಅವಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? We follow generally accepted accounting principles. According to generally accepted accounting principles, human resource cannot be recognized by money measurement concept. It cannot be measured in terms of money. Artha aita? So now that is how accounting standard requirement will come into the picture. But you know one thing, recently Institute is planning to introduce an accounting standard on agriculture. If they introduce, it is yet to be introduced. If they introduce accounting standard on agriculture, Buffalo will go over there, because this is something which is related to agriculture. So till they apply that accounting standard, they determine the area determine madi, they bring out a standard. Till then, gap will apply. Once they bring it, accounting standard is applicable. Okay, so gap and accounting standard, if you compare, accounting standard has got more powers, gap has got less, because gap alli yaude law illa, accounting standard alli law undu. So therefore, accounting standard, if it is there, you have to follow that. Gap is normal accounting process what you follow. All right. Now, considering that ICI has given a total of 32 accounting standards till date. Okay. These 32 accounting standards alli, remember this, 3 anta ಒಂದು group ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, 29 ಇನ್ನೊಂದು group ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. These 3 are AS 30, 31, 32. All of these 3 are related to financial instruments. I will not talk too detailed into this, but I'll just give you the overall understanding. Okay, these three are standards in relation to financial instruments. Okay, and these are non-mandatory. What do you mean by mandatory? Compulsory. So these are non-compulsory accounting standard. Andre ಈಗ basically, why do you wear uniform to your college? Because it is compulsory. If there is no compulsion as to the dress code to go to college, you will wear whatever you want. You never know, bari banyan haki kuda hogbodu. Chances are there. Now, in the same way over here also, mandatory idre we follow. Non-mandatory idre bekadre follow madko helidre, who will follow? Nobody followed it. So therefore, these are non-mandatory accounting standards, 30, 31, 32 out. The rest are 29. In this 29, AS8 and AS6 got cancelled. So how much are remaining? There are 27 effective accounting standards. Okay, there are a total of 27 effective accounting standards where mandatory apply agutte, and accordingly everybody has to follow. Why is it cancelled? Okay, I'll give you the idea why it got cancelled. AS8 was all about R&D, research and development. Okay, level ಎಷ್ಟು high ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. I'll just give you the idea. AS8 is R&D. Few people started telling that R&D can be asset, research and development can be an asset. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅದೊಂದು ನಮಗೆ intellectual property create ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. Did you understand? Or are everybody there with me? Say for example, let's assume that I am in this COVID vaccine situation. COVID vaccine unta? COVID vaccine, let's say that we have got a laboratory. We are testing for a vaccine for COVID. We got it anta ankolva. It's an asset to us, alla. I can patent it. It's my asset because I found it, I searched it. Patent is an asset to us, correct? Patent is an asset. What type of asset it is? Very good. It's an intangible asset. Patent is an intangible asset for us. Sariyala. So adakoskara, what happened? R&D can be treated as an asset anta mindset ittu. So for that reason, an accounting standard on R&D came in. Okay, artha madkoli. R&D is a very, very big area. R&D is a huge area. Adralli ellanu asset madlik agudilla alla. Now, why everybody agreed that it can be asset, it can be patent? Because I told you that we found COVID vaccine. If at all the entire R&D was waste, we could not find a vaccine. Expense were increasing like a lot and we couldn't continue our research. We couldn't find a vaccine. Now will you tell that it's an intangible asset? So are you able to understand why standards are that important? Because somebody might tell idun sa asset madu maraya enta problem untu. Do this also as an asset. Nee hakirudu kashtapaಟ್ಟಿರುವುದು ಹೌದಲ್ಲ, you gave up your time for this, ishtu kashtapattidi, adu asset aglebeku, tension yake ಮಾಡ್ತಿ, anything can be said, right? It's not like ಇದೇ ತರ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು, because there are a lot of results which might go in vain. And ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್, but you ended up with immunity booster. Do you call it as COVID vaccine? No, it's an immunity booster medicine. Now, ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Is this an intangible asset? Is whether it is asset, whether it is not asset, what to do? So ಇಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರುವುದು. ಬಟ್ ಲೇಟರ್, ಸಿನ್ಸ್ R&D itself cannot be an asset, it leads to intangible asset. This standard got cancelled and it got merged with AS 26. AS 26 itself is for intangible assets. Okay, intangible assets is the overall topic. Adralli R&D is one of the topic. That is the reason why AS 8 got cancelled. Understood? Why did AS 6 got cancelled? AS 6 was about depreciation. AS 6 was about depreciation. Okay, but later what institute as well as the government felt was that the way we used to treat fixed asset was not good. Okay, it got outdated, it got totally outdated. So they wanted to modernize the way a fixed asset can be treated. So therefore they created a new standard called as AS10. AS10 was already there as fixed asset. That standard got cancelled and they created called as property, plant and equipment, which you told me. AS6 got cancelled and all the depreciation got merged with AS10. This is the reason why those two standards got cancelled, because the topic related to that got merged with some other accounting standard. Okay, so this is about the accounting standard requirement. 27 effective standards we have, which is applicable according to the situation. Institute will always see which area is good for them. Area prakara they start allotting individual accounting standards. So AS1, AS2, AS3, AS4, AS5, it goes on and on and on. Say every standard will have a topic which is dealt with. For example, if it is AS15, it is employee benefit expenses. So it talks about how employee benefit expense should be dealt with, and in the same way it keeps on going. In inter-level, institute felt that you should know about standards, so they selected certain standards which you need to learn in detail when it comes to inter-level. So inter-early ನೀವು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲಿತೀರಿ. Few standards you leave, you learn it on the later stages. ಇದು ಒಂದು. This is one thing which is called as an accounting standard. Okay, shall I move a bit further? I hope everybody are there with me, not feeling bored, right? Or you want me to tell any other story? Okay, I'll give you one more story and then I will continue. Okay, I'll give you one more story so that at least you will again come to the senses. Okay, which story shall I tell you? Okay, let me tell you this story. Everybody knows about Facebook, right? I need not ask this question at all. Everybody knows about Facebook, right? Great. What happened is I just want to tell you that how technology is there right now. Okay, technologically we have come to the next level called as artificial intelligence now. Have you heard about that two terms called as artificial intelligence? Andre machine will use its own coding, which the coding itself is an intelligence one, where machines can interpret its own stuff. Simple example of artificial intelligence is Alexa or your Siri, whatever it is. All these things are artificial intelligence, because you tell something, it tries to do it for you. So once you do it, it will do it for you. Okay, Facebook wanted to experiment, because since Facebook is about what can I say? Yeah, Facebook is about social interaction platform. They just wanted to know, if two individuals are sitting in front of each other through the computers, how can they communicate to each other? Namma Facebook Messenger and use madkondo, how can they communicate? Now, obviously, Facebook Messenger is less. Now, either it is Instagram Direct or WhatsApp, whatever it is. But still, they wanted to experiment. Anyhow, Instagram and WhatsApp also are owned by Facebook only. So what they did is they created two robots. Okay, no, not two human beings, because human beings has got human touch. They get bored, that, this and all. Machines never get bored. So whatever you tell, it will do it for you. Sir, yeah. So therefore, they created two robots. They were put inside a room, on the room alittu. The job of those two robots is to talk to each other through a particular medium. Okay, talk to each other. That was the thing. The door is closed. They went. I think they went for 1 week, 15 days, 20 days, etc. After a month, they opened the doors. They checked the history of the chats. How that two machines have chat with each other. Okay, day one, it was chatting, telling that how are you, what are you doing, that, this and all. Day two, day three, day four, ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಒಟ್ಟರಶಿ topic chat ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. Day 5 or day 6, those two robots came to a conclusion that English is a very bad language. So those two robots created its own language, which these scientists does not know. What Russian language ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. It spoke in its own language, which we don't know. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಮಾತಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡು ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. It just spoke in its own language, numbering language, exclamation is a word for it. What Rashi? It has just decided that this is how we are going to talk, and it started talking. So how two machineries got totally different, you never know. Okay, so later what Facebook had to do then? Ultimately, they had to do only one job: press the destruct button and destroy those two robots, because you don't know what they might do. ಹೋಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಾಂಬ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು? Anything might happen. So therefore, when it comes to artificial intelligence, when you are using technology, use it well. I'm not denying technology is very important, but there is a limit for technology. Try not to be too addicted and too dependent on the technology. We are doing it through a technology medium only. Otherwise, we couldn't have even spoken to each other in this very, very difficult times. So there are huge advantages, but at the same time, there are disadvantages also. Alexa ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ನೆನಪಾಯ್ತು. If at all anybody are using those devices, just make sure that you don't talk anything secret in front of it. Okay, one incident have happened. So basically, now everybody know that there is a safe lock, and in the safe lock you need to put code, then only the lock can be opened. Correct? Local agi ನಾವು ಗೋಡ್ರೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸೇಫ್ ಲಾಕರ್. ಸರಿಯಾ? ಇದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ ತಿಜೋರಿ. Yes, perfect. Now what happened is, in one of the times, what happened is husband and wife were screaming in front of Alexa. Alexa was on. Husband and wife were having a quarrel in front of Alexa. Okay, ಅದು quarreling ಆಗ್ತಾ ಏನಾಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, it went to that level where in front of Alexa they spoke about their safe lock code. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಬೊಬ್ಬೆ ಹೊಡೆದು ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಡ್, ಪಟ್ಟ ಹೇಳು ಮಾರೆ ನಂಗೆ, ಗಿವ್ ಮಿ ದಿ ಲಾಕ್ ಕೋಡ್, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ವೈಫ್ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾ. ಓಕೆ, now neighbor or someone knew that they have Alexa over here, and once if anybody is quarreling, that the entire apartment will come to know there is a problem. Idi apartment ಕೇಳುವಾಗೆ ಬೊಬ್ಬೆ ಹೊಡೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Later they went off. Okay, they went off. Somebody came inside the house. Okay, taking a duplicate key, something of that sort. Kaldrigenu. They came in and they just asked a question in front of Alexa. Alexa, what is the safe lock code? Alexa ಚಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ, the safe lock code is 7219. ಈ ಜನ ಹೋದ, he put in the code, he opened the lock, it took everything, went off. Okay, so whenever you use artificial intelligence, please make sure that you use it very well. Otherwise, your safety is in problem. Everything will be in problem. Fine. But it is just a story to be said. It is an incident which has happened, but I know everybody are now very much into it. Everybody are safe. Everybody will keep safety in mind and all. But still, it's better that if you take that up in a right spirit. Okay. Coming back to the point. So basically, we were discussing about accounting standard requirement. Now I will try to move a bit further. So basically, this entire 27 accounting standard, what we have, brings in two things. One, it brings consistency. It brings a standard consistency between people so that you can use the standards properly. Everywhere I can use it well, and this consistency will lead to comparison. Comparison becomes very easy. I will sit here, I will take a company's financial statement, I will go to Gujarat, I will take a company financial statement. Both of them are almost same. I'm not telling you that both of them will completely remain the same. Both of them will be almost same. What happened? Standard maintenance. Comparability became very easy. ಒಬ್ರೊಬ್ರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ what to compare? ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರವೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರೋದಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರವೇ one question paper is given to everybody. Otherwise, if I keep on giving different question paper to different people, how will I judge whether the person is proper or not? So therefore, we give one question paper. We can come to know the entire class mindset accordingly. Comparability becomes very easy when it comes to accounting standard. One of the major reason why accounting standard is needed. Second, it will lead or it will give a lot of assistance. I have to do a particular job. It will give me that assistance. It tells what can be done, what cannot be done, what things are illegal, what things are legal. Everything it will tell us. It gives us that type of comparability. Okay. Now, the point which I wanted to tell is whatever accounting standard we have, right? This accounting standard is restricted to India. Every state in India has to follow it. So Udupi, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, everybody has to follow this. ICI has provided it. Adre, now we know that we are not in national situation, we are in global situation now. Sitting now, I can give a talk for a person in America as well. He can pay me in dollars also. You never know. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. I can sell the goods, I can purchase the goods, not just in my country, between countries now. It's in the global situation, which means assume that we are in touch with the company of America. In USA, a company is there. We are in touch with the company in USA. We want to understand what USA has done. Obviously, what we do in India, what we do in USA will be different. Indian states will remain the same. US states will remain the same. But India and US obviously will be different. Situation is different. Scenario is different. Mindset is different. Everything is different. In the same way, US into, there is UK, there is other European countries, entire globe. You can now go to any place you want. You can perform any business you want. Entire globe is the place of operation now. Everybody agree with this. Hagadre, now arises a situation whereby standardizing national level is not okay. Standardizing in global level is needed. Bari national level in the eno agudilla. You need standardization in the global level. So therefore, this was first felt in the other countries like US, UK, Germany, and all those countries. And they came into a conclusion that we will not have national level standards, we will have international accounting standards, IAS anta kariteve. There is something called as international accounting standards. Okay, IAS, which talks about all these accounting requirement in the global level, global perspective alli matadta hogtare. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಜರ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ IFRS ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. There is something called as International Financial Reporting Standards. International Financial Reporting Standards, where how reporting requirement in the global level can be made, which is accepted by every country. America, sorry, USA, UK, all these leading countries have accepted these standards. Okay. Now, even in India, we felt that we also need these standards. Even Indian government felt that we need these standards. So somewhere in 2005-6 itself, the government of India instructed ICAI to create international level standards. Whatever AS you have right now, let it be there. That is national level. Let's also have another accounting standard which is applicable under international level. ICAI said okay. It started framing. Okay, it started framing the standards. It went on and on and on. So 2007, 8, 9, 10, the standards were ready. But once they approached the government, either government used to say no or the people used to say no. Because if something new will come into the picture, people normally resist. Iga GST kuda ade other. So a new law is coming into the picture, we normally resist because we are safe. We are happy with the old law what we have. New hedid kuda puna yaar we will change the mindset hedi, we normally say no. It was very difficult to apply. But later in the year 2013-14, our time only, government said enough is enough. We will apply international standards. Everybody has to follow, and therefore they brought in something called as Ind AS. ಈಗ ನಾನೇನ್ 27 AS ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, those AS are national level, those AS are there, but this is another standard set itself called as Indian Accounting Standard. What is Indian Accounting Standard? It is International Accounting Standard and IFRS in Indian context. ನಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have applied international accounting standards and international financial reporting standards. Those things are called as Ind AS. Okay, you don't have this in your inter level, it is there in the finals level. Inter level ali again you just have introduction to this, saying that what do you mean by Ind AS and all, but it is there in the international level applicable in your CA finals. Now, are we using Ind AS or only AS? Yes, that's the very important question which is asked. Very good. See, the point is very simple. This Indian accounting standard, first of all, is applicable only to company. Andre ega one conclusion banta, for sole proprietor, for partnership firms and all, you will apply only AS. Aurige Ind AS annuva scene illa. Okay, Ind AS is applicable only for companies. In companies also, Ind AS is applicable only for those companies either they are listed in the stock exchange or who has got net worth of more than 250 crore. Ind AS first of all is applicable only for companies. Even in companies also, either they are listed company or those companies where net worth is greater than 250 crore. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ Ind AS ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಉಳಿದವರಿಗೆ Ind AS ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. If any company wants to voluntarily apply Ind AS, then they are very much welcome to do it, but mandatorily these are the companies who are supposed to apply Indian accounting standard situation. And Ind AS is very, very interesting compared to the normal AS. Ind AS is of a different level because it is international. International level ಅಲ್ಲಿ Ind AS ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ it is a different ball game, whereby they explain it in a different way, they do it everything in a different way. Should I give you one simple example? Has everyone gone through schedule 3 balance sheet format? Schedule 3 balance sheet format you have done, right? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, if at all I give you the heading altogether, first head is equity and liabilities. In that you have shareholder fund, share capital, blah 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 stuff, correct? Then you have got assets, isn't it? Sariyala. Now these are covered under division A of schedule 3. Schedule 3 has got two divisions, division A ಮತ್ತೆ division B ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು. In the second division, that is Ind AS balance sheet. For Ind AS, there is a different balance sheet itself. Adralli, the first heading is assets. The second heading is equity and liability. And inside that, the headings are again different. So Ind AS requirement is almost a complete revolution in our accounting. And I'm telling you, this AS, why am I giving you more importance in this area? Because it is something now which is highly dynamic. Munche, it used to be static. Once a standard is introduced, you can see the applicable dates of accounting standards. 1st April 96, 1st April 2003, those standards are there. Now, should I tell you what is happening right now? The government has instructed ICI saying that, Ega, first of all, did you understand how different it is? Ind AS is Ind AS, chodo, Ind AS antu kutkolli. Even government felt that the 27 AS what you have na right now, which we discussed somewhere over here, even government felt that even these are outdated. So they have asked ICAI to make sure that you should change or you should make changes to that also. And ICI is making changes. Yavaga apply madtare gottilla. When are they going to bring it as a mandatory standard? I don't know. But they are in talks, they are framing one. They are making changes to our normal AS also, which means it's one of the dynamic topic right now. Very high dynamic topic because sumar changes ಆಗ್ತಾ when it comes to standards change ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ the way we do the accounting itself will change. As simple as that. The way we do the accounting itself will change. The same thing happened in Ind AS as well. Ind AS allu ade adat, whereby when AS got squashed off and Ind AS came in for those large level companies, they had to make a lot of changes. AS ಅಲ್ಲಿ simple accounting procedure ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ it improved it. It gave more disclosure. It asked them to give more disclosure, blah 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 stuff. P&L ನೀವು ನೋಡುದಾದ್ರೆ, in P&L there are two types of P&L: comprehensive income, other comprehensive income. So there are huge changes which has been done in Ind AS, which is for us in some way it's good because we are now leading to the international level. Okay, but still there are a lot to learn. There is huge things to learn. And the great thing about for you people is, even though Ind AS and all has come out, you will learn it from the exam point of view, which is good. Exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನಾನು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂತ್ ನಂಗೆ, I can do it. Once you finish CA and then these things came up, you should again sit and study for that only. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಹೇಳೋದು? The effectiveness will be more. After you become a professional, you will learn only when it is needed for the client. ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎದುರಿಂದ ಕಲಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. So, but you can do it now, which is a great thing. If any new thing comes up, it's good. Provided if it is there for some time, you can also understand what is the mentality of that standard. But still, otherwise, even if it's dynamic, we have to make necessary changes to our field. Okay, so this is that effect. This is the need right now, that they are changing in different way. Ega, if I have to give you a very small jhalak, property, plant and equipment is somewhat like Ind AS. Ind AS alla adu, Ind AS alli innu jaasti untu. Property, plant and equipment, which got recently changed, AS10, it's somewhat like Ind AS. So Ind AS is of that level. Ind AS is very good to that matter because the applicability way, the way it works out is really good. But ultimately, what is going to happen now? In the international stage, there will be comparability, there will be a standard. So everybody can now frame an accounting requirement on the international level. Now, global level, people can easily interact because accounting is a kind of language to us. It's a language in commerce terms, in company terms, which we can deal with the other person. If we do it properly, if the language is proper, communication will be better. So therefore, Ind AS is that communication which can be done in a very better way when it comes to India with the global level. Okay, but yes, applicability wise, it's not applicable to small companies because it's hard for them to adopt. Large companies, government has said nothing doing, you have to follow Ind AS. They have to do it, they will do it. Okay, so this is the interpretation effect. This is the requirement when it comes to the standards point of view. So why did the standards came into the picture? To tell the people as to how it could be done. Because even I cannot tell you in detail about Ind AS or AS altogether. Reason being, we are still in that level. Come to the next level, at that time Nimma mindset will be even a bit more matured, At that time, I can tell you individual accounting standard tells what. Otherwise, what happens even now, if at all now only, should I tell you again? I will give you another simple example of how Ind AS works. Heluda, imagination madlik ready ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಉಂಟಂತ ನೀವು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Do you or have you come across a situation whereby you go to a particular shop, they give you points type, redemption points ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, where you can use this redemption points, go somewhere else and use it. You have done that, right? Assume that you go to Reliance Mart now. Okay, Reliance Mart hodri, you purchased, they gave you 300 redemption points. You take this 300 redemption points and you go to Domino's and you eat a pizza. Whether Domino's and Reliance Mart are coming under the same company, no, they are different, but they have a tie-up. They have a tie-up. Ee vishayadalli they have a tie-up. It can be redeemed anta heli tie-up ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So what happened here? ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, you went to Reliance Mart and you purchased goods costing 10,000 rupees. What Reliance Mart will pass the entry as? Entry ಏನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? Cash account debit to sales account. ಸರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ? Cash account debit to sales account. 300 redemption points came in. ಸರಿಯಾ? 300 redemption points came in. You went to Domino's. Domino's ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರಿ. You ate a pizza. The pizza cost is actually 700 rupees, but you paid 500 rupees, 200 rupee discount because of redemption of points. Now Domino's will pass an entry, again cash account debit to sales account. They will pass it for 500 rupees. This redemption point, either they will take it as debit balance or something which they will later match it off. But Ind AS ಆ ತರ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. It tells these redemption points should be accounted in Reliance Mart also. It should be accounted in Domino's also. Provision create ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Provision ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ calculation. ಆ basis ಅಲ್ಲಿ you have to calculate it. You have to create a provision in the books of Reliance Mart. You should create a receivable balance in Domino's. ಇಂಥದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It's a good thing. Why? You are increasing the accountability. ಆದ್ರೆ complication. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do. You don't know how to interpret. All these things will come. But yes, ultimately, it's a good move made by the government, where once we adapt ourselves to these areas, automatically ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಂಥ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆನೇ ಮಾಡಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. AS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳುವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. It wasn't there at that time. ಈ ತರ there will be a different point which will be taken up. ಈಗ just think about how e-commerce are going to pass entries now. E-commerce ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ e-commerce operators. ಏನು? For example, just think about Amazon. Amazon will do two types of operation. One, Amazon will directly sell it to you. They buy it from someone, they sell it to you. Another thing, Amazon will directly hire a seller. Alva? Yes or no? Correct, Allah. So Amazon will do two types. One, either Amazon will directly sell you the product, or Amazon will hire a seller. Seller will sell you the product. If you now look into invoice, Amazon ಹೇಳಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಲೋಗೋ ಇರೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಿರೋದು ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ ಇದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. Every detail of the seller is given at the end. Correct. How will Amazon pass an entry for this then? Just think about their accounting methodology. Na? How should they pass entry for this? Whether those sellers will be treated as debtor, creditor, or is there any other way in which accounting can be done? See the way accounting is getting improved day by day. See different mechanism through which it works. Isn't it? Now you have got swipe. You just swipe your card. Go to petrol pump. You just swipe your card. How do they pass entries for all these? Again, another area. You go to theaters. Book my show in the Madi Hogtiri. How do you pass entries for that? You book a particular stay. You book a rent room through OYO, or you go through makemytrip.com. You book it. How to pass an entry for that? So there are different areas which give you different methodology of accounting. ನಾವೇನ್ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೇವೆ? Cash sales 10 rupees. isn't it? ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಈ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ನೀವು ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ದೀಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಇಂಥ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಮೇಕ್ ಔಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ that reason you will be learning these kind of standards, these kind of elements, these kind of small effect, rectification, whatever topic, whatever is there in your syllabus are highly relevant ones. ಈ ತರದ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಷಯ ಅರ್ಥ ಆದ್ರೆ then you can go towards the larger one. I just gave you all these lists just for your imagination. Just think, how can these people actually pass entries, how journal might come to them, what type of records they may have to maintain. Okay, we are still in traditional method. Modern method ge baruvaga different mentality will apply. Now everything is computerized. Nobody will write everything in the book now. Everything is computerized, and computers, how they deal with, what type of softwares they can use, all these things are very important. You will learn these things in your ITT orientation and all, but these are some of the modernized methodologies which are happening on a day-to-day basis. That is what I was telling you, that artificial intelligence, on one fine day artificial intelligence might be used in accounting also. Your use may not be there. You can directly, you just have to feed it to a robo will pass all the entries. Chances are there, right? So a lot of new changes are happening on day-to-day basis. We should be in a situation to get it up. That's why change the mindset. If you feel that you want to stay in your comfort zone, come out of it. Come out of that. Try to think about different areas. Try to think about how a company might function and all these things. Avagénagutte, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮ್ಮ horizon improvement ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Horizon improvement ಆಯ್ತಾ, at that time you know what to do. So those things are important when you learn. So that's why I gave you those kind of examples. Many examples we don't even know what is going to happen, but still at least we now have it in the back of the mind that there are many things which could be imagined and known. There are many things which you have to target. So not just thinking about what do we mean, what is the entry for expense done, what is the entry for income received. No, you should also think about these kind of out of the box transactions which company is doing now on a day-to-day basis. Cash back ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. How do you pass an entry for cash back? Google Pay, better luck next time again entry pass ಮಾಡೋದು. So everything obviously better luck next time again entry ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, but I'm just telling you that there are different types of business model which is happening on a day-to-day basis now. How these business model will adopt accounting in their books. So all these things ultimately are madudu CA ne madudala. They will only help how to bring in a books of account requirement in a particular area. So namma horizon improvement aada hage we can give good elements to everybody. So that is the whole idea about standards. So standards ಆ ತರ ವಿಷಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಾಗ for us it becomes easy. Standard ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಮುಗಿತ್ ನನಗೆ. I need not even think anything more now. Standard ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, there is a problem to me now, because now I should take my decision. So if standard is there, that standardization is maintained. What I will follow, once you become CA, you will also follow the same thing. We both are supposed to follow the same thing. So that is the whole idea about how these standards are important. Okay, anything you want to ask now? Because we have almost come to the fag end. Anything you want to ask, you can ask. I hope I did not bore anyone. At the same time, I hope everybody could get some idea about what areas and elements are there with us. Anything you want to ask? If you want to, you can. I will wait for some 2 to 3 minutes. You can ask me anything you need. And whatever I told you before we end off, whatever I told you is just an introduction, because we are still in foundation, and I am with you because I cannot reach directly to the final level and tell these wordings are there in the standard and all. It's not needed also. I just wanted to bring into you in the mindset that huge things are there coming up where we can learn them. Keep it as a positive spirit that we will learn these, it's a good thing that we are learning something new. We will be reaching that level. Say one fine day you become Reliance Industries ka auditor, you know what to do now. So all these things will help you for future. So one by one, this is the way in which we can try to get it up. Okay, so whatever is said is intro. Later you come to the higher level. Again, let's hope that we will meet, and at that time let's speak to the point on the technical aspect, talking about what does the standard tell, reading about the definitions, all those stuff. So one by one, let's start increasing our level. At the same time, let's start coming up the stage. So on that note, if I think there are no doubts remaining now, so thank you very much for your patient listening. Another time maybe we might meet again, but till then, all the very best for your examination results. I want to look in everyone as inter-level students. Let's keep that as a positive note, and keeping that in mind, let's come out of it. Okay, so all the very best. Thank you for your patient listening. Hope it was interesting. Hope everybody got some value addition in this regard. Let's meet up in the next session. So
Thank you, sir, for your
yes,
valuable guidance, and thank you everyone for your patient listening. I will end the session, sir, if with your permission.
yes, you can.